70 Tuesdays paper welcome. Michael.
Good day there. Oh, wow.
This is Sack. Sorry, I'll get him off screen. So, Michael, this is a nice top. Do you want to tell us where you got
I'll
it?
plug golden vintage. It's Adon Doyle's latest enterprise, and you can shop online. I like it, and it was well modelled by, I think, Dara Canavan was modelling it, so a lot of gory-based models. Good to see a gory man try the online business, and free worldwide shipping available. Thanks, Adon. Really enjoyed this top.
Thanks, Adon.
Yes, and we're also drinking 4 Sigmat mushroom coffee. We're getting used to promos.
Yeah, we're on the shrooms.
Yeah,
If they want to sponsor us, 4 Sigmata.
By all means, get in touch. But this is a French press coffee. There's something different about the French press, isn't there, Mark? We're fans of it here. It gives a real authentic taste.
It does. It's very fancy, very notiony.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Mark, shall I give you a parish of the week? We'll go to West Kerry, right? And this is a Kerry community that rolling back the years with a trashing event. So this is the community of Lispole, and they came together to witness the harvesting and threshing of a field of oats. It's the first time in 50 years since it's been done, and they were doing it in aid of the charity, and they got an old thresher that was back from 1935, many moons ago, and a mehel of men fed the machine. A mehel of men.
Mehel. Like the Mehel leaders.
Yeah.
What does Mehel mean?
I think it's like support and community. I think it's a cross between those two words.
You were a Mehel leader?
I was.
You were? What did that involve?
You had to go into a class of first years and pretend you were cool and that you knew how the school ran, and you were trying to, give them a sense and feel of how it is to be a secondary school student.
I should have done that.
Yeah.
But,
Mark,
Well,
now that we're on secondary school, there is a rumour circulating. Rumour of the week. That comes from my brother, that you once tied Ryan Murphy to a chair and spun him round. True, false.
I don't know. I could have. I don't know. It does sound likely.
Apparently, the teacher, who was a science teacher, and she wore jumpers with cats on them, had to go to the support for a nearby teacher who you know, and said, "Here, I don't know what to do here." And then he was the one who had to discipline you.
I think I know who this teacher is. Yeah,
yes.
yeah, it is.
It happened.
I can't remember it, honestly, but it does sound likely. It does sound something like me and Ryan Murphy would get involved in.
That would be good Mehel leadership skills, as a warm-up game. We'll tie you to a chair now and see how you survive.
We had Garrett, was his name. Garrett and someone else. But he was very kind of, you're the kids and I was the kids once, and now you can grow up and be like me. Now, and you thought he was, this guy is so cool, I can't wait to be in 5th year. And you realise when you get 5th year, that guy was a bellend.
Right. One Mehel leader actually was a Quaylon Kelly, and Quaylon is in the Ireland competition for the makeup artist, so best of luck to him.
Best luck to him. I was training his mother at the weekend. She comes to my classes the Saturday morning once.
That's gas.
We could have Quaylon on. I wonder.
That'd be a good one actually. Yeah. How did your mother find out about that, or his mother?
I think she works with another lady that was coming to him, so word him out again.
Incredible.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, back to West Kerry, and anyway, so this was a lockdown idea because they wanted to bring back the good old days. And this 88-year-old Seamus O'Douan said that he remembered harvesting oats with a scythe. Have you ever seen a scythe?
The big fucking Grim Reaper thing.
Yeah. So he used, and the excitement that followed the arrival of the thrashing machine. That's gas. So they were so used to using the tools, and then when they had the machine that did it, it was mind-boggling stuff.
Mind-boggling. Speaking of trashing, have you watched any of these untold stories on Netflix?
No.
It's a docu-series. You watched some of them. Have you seen the one about the trashers? No. So there's this fella who owned it was basically the Shane Byrne of New York.
Right.
He owned a waste disposal company.
Okay.
No, actually, I may take that back, because this guy was a criminal. This guy was involved in the mob in New York. Shane Byrne is not involved with the mob.
Thanks.
He talking rubbish, making sense. Arklow waste disposal. But this guy in New York, he was a mobster and he was a millionaire. And he had a son, and the son was, the apple of his eye, spoiled rotten. On his son's 10th birthday, he got all these WWE superstars to come to his birthday party, like The Rock and Stone Cold and China and all these ones, because he liked wrestling at that age. But then his son got really into hockey, but had a bad hockey accident. Apparently his son was a bit of a tug on the hockey ice rink, so he got into a bad accident fighting on the rink, and so he couldn't play anymore. He was 17. He was still in high school. So what his father done was he started a hockey team, got it listed in the NHL, proper high-level professional hockey team, stadium and all, made his son the general manager and president at 17 years old. And his son is the biggest gobshite you've ever seen. Like, he has 2 big diamond earrings, big baggy t-shirt, the chains.
Wow.
And they call themselves the Trashers, and basically they were just they were incredibly violent. Like, that was their thing, was they were the Trashers, and they go out and they start fights, and like the NHL hated them because they were starting all these rows and stuff, and people were getting the main lad was brought in just because he was a thug, like, and on his first game they told him, so in hockey, like, if they let people fight, they let people box, but you do it, you throw your gloves off like that signals a fight, you skate into the middle of the ring and you box heads off each other. And I don't think you get sent off to it. You might get a sim bin for it. But this guy was like, right, your first game of the season, it was the team's first match. He said, as soon as that whistle's blowing, you throw your gloves off and you box.
Wow.
And that's it. And that escalated from there, and people were getting broke up and all. But the main lad, this main thug that they had, captain of the team, got his leg broke in a game by some fella. So he was waiting in the room, the hospital bed, and the owner of your man's father, he bought the club, he came into the room with the guy who broke his leg's home address. And he said, where do you want to go from here?
Oh my gosh.
And that's as far as I've got. I haven't got any further than
Wow, it sounds very good.
It's very good. It's very interesting. So I'd recommend that. It's Untold. I'm not sure what the name of this one is, but you'll find it on Netflix.
Ash and I started watching the 9/11 documentary that you recommended, and that is a cracking documentary. It's very well done how it has the events of the morning of 9/11, and then the intro, and then back looking at Afghanistan and the Russians. Oh, it goes back to the Russians.
This has gave me such a fucking sense of grandeur, this Netflix docuseries, because I think I'm an expert now. I was going, actually, do you know, Afghanistan was a very progressive country in the 60s. But then, because of the Cold War, you see, with Russia and America, I don't even know what the fuck happened in the Cold War.
Yeah.
It's so well done, though. It's a very good series. I'd recommend that.
Certainly.
And 20 years on.
Yeah, exactly. Where were you when 9/11? Were you in school?
I don't remember.
Don't remember at all.
No.
Well, see, there was no big hoo-ha. There was no... it seems like the landmark moment in secondary school or primary school for you was, making your communion and then Pope John Paul dying. That really stands out for you. But that's the same. Doesn't no abiding memories of 9/11.
No, do you?
No. I just remember my mother explaining it on the way home, and I don't know how you could explain it to Shani. But Ashlyn has very vivid memories of it because her neighbour had someone working in one of the towers, but they weren't in work that day. You have to count your lucky stars, wouldn't you?
Jesus.
Yeah. I actually, in that clip, and they're looking at the television footage, it's something that struck me. When the second plane hit, one of the newscasters goes, this is definitely on purpose or something like that. And I thought, that's very measured but clear and concise. Because, it's profound, isn't it?
Yeah.
Profound.
And then George Bush in the school, and your man comes to whisper, America is under attack. He whispers to him. You can see Bush's reaction.
Yeah.
That's cool, the way your man said, this is exactly what I said to him. And you can watch him going and saying that to Bush in that moment, and that's what he whispered in his ear. Yeah. And Bush's reaction is very good.
Yeah.
It's very well done. There's no way 9/11 was an inside job.
Exactly. I was looking at the videos, I know I've kind of entertained conspiracy theories in the past, but I don't know how you could look at those videos and say, oh yeah, no, it's a bomb at the bottom. It's not a plane.
You can see the plane fucking hit it.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's a bit weird though, isn't it? How the plane hit and it took a while for it to collapse. I'm not saying this is part of conspiracy, but isn't it weird the way it sat there for a while and then eventually it just fell?
Yeah.
That
is that the force of the fire? Or
I think it was the fire, yeah. It's crazy. The people on the top jumping out, they have two decisions there. It's either burn alive or jump to your death. There's no right decision there.
Yeah.
It's fucking mad. It's crazy. Ugh.
My father remember saying there's planes. You were saying to someone on a building site, there's a plane after flying into a building in America, and your man, pure Irish, goes back, those fucking planes are lethal. And the conversation continued about like how not those planes, just the plane.
I had a shaky landing coming in from London.
But Lispaul, anyway, they had right crack musicians trashing the whole works, and you know what? Given the lockdown and the restrictions, it was great for the community to come back together. 12-year-olds, 85-year-olds, all having the crack, and they had right turmoil together. So fair play to them. Lispaul, Community of the Week, Parish of the Week, take it, have it, it's yours.
Namaste.
Yes. Have you a game or something?
I
Marc,
have
that
a
you'd
little
like
bit
to
of a
share?
quiz here, Michael.
Oh.
Now, feel free to phone a friend in either Shane or Robbie.
Oh, amazing.
Or Breed, actually, if you feel like she...
Yeah.
No, she knows the answers, actually, because I quizzed her earlier.
Yeah.
So, question number 1. How many
Okay.
petrol stations are in Gorey?
Okay, I'll go with 7.
10.
10?
Yeah.
My gosh.
Yeah. Now, this kind of... It's debatable, like, is King's in Gorey?
Sorry?
King's Gala.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be Gorey. Yeah, there's 10.
Oh, yeah.
There's 10. Where did Miley Doyle get his name?
Miles, I'd say. Oh, because there's miles behind the counter.
No, from his parents.
Oh, excellent.
What word is spelled incorrectly in almost every single dictionary?
Oh. Incorrectly.
Yes.
Oh.
What goes up but never comes down?
The price of fuel. I don't know. Gravity.
No. Would you like to defer?
Oh, yes. Robbie?
Oh. Shane?
Shane goes up but never comes down. Shane, any ideas? No? Your age.
Oh.
Question number 5. How
Would you-
old?
Sorry, one
No?
second there.
Yeah.
Curveball. Would you ever get, I don't know, stuff to reduce your wrinkles or something?
Would I? Yeah.
You would?
What do you mean, like creams and stuff?
Oh, creams are alright, but like, I don't know, Botox or something.
I'd like to do NAD IVs.
What's that?
So NAD is nicotinamide A something D. I don't know, but it's these IV drips everyone in Hollywood is getting, and apparently they lengthen your telomeres. So what aging is
Oh.
a shortening of your telomeres, but these things are shown to actually lengthen them again. So it actually rejuvenates your cells, makes
Wow.
them younger, which is very interesting. There's no long-term studies on it.
That's
That's
fascinating.
the case, yeah.
And is it popular in Hollywood?
Apparently
Or?
so, yeah. It's getting
Must
more
be
popular.
pricey.
I'd say it is, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say it is, but apparently you feel amazing after you do it.
I'd say that.
Apparently you get massive, like, burst of energy.
There's a Joe Dispenza talks that meditation even has shown to lengthen them. Marginally, but it does lengthen them.
Are you still meditating?
Infrequently, maybe twice a week. What about yourself?
Maybe 3-4 times a week, I'd say.
Oh, fair play
But
to
it's
you.
only 10 minutes. It's not
10
long
minutes.
ones. Question number 5. How old is Leo Varadkar?
39.
42.
Oh.
Leo's in a bit of hot water lately
Yeah.
for picking his nose. Who cares? Like, for fuck's sake. There's way worse things going on in the world than Leo going to a party.
Yeah.
Grow up.
There was Damien O'Reilly was writing in the Irish Farmers Journal, and he was saying that we're too negative and nitpicking in Ireland at the moment.
Yeah, we are.
And he was in Croatia, and he said that he was talking to locals there, and he said we're actually quite poor, and he thinks that we take a lot of it granted in Ireland.
Yeah.
But how does it change? Like, we're not. We like our lives.
I don't know. I was talking with some of this morning actually about like the Irish Leaving Cert, the Irish
Yeah.
language as a subject in the Leaving Cert,
Yeah.
and how sad and pessimistic it is. So you have the story of your one with cancer, the Spalpeen Fánach.
Yeah.
What else was it?
Gavin.
Gavin. Your man who got shot waiting for his Chinese.
Oh yeah, Jamie Mack. Yeah.
Calcan Millish as well.
Millish.
It's all death and despair and misery and tragedy.
Yeah. What was that one? It was set in Belfast. Yeah.
Yeah, a lad who was
The
missing
IRA.
his wife and kids or something.
Yes.
Shot outside the Chinese.
Yeah. And then the curveball. Did you ever do Herlamabok?
Yeah.
That was about the woman in the boom, and she rented 2 freezers for a party. That was a key factor in the story.
Oh.
And she used to put on her makeup to go out and do the bins and this type of thing. I don't know what the point of that story was. But But it is.
She had 2 freezers.
But it is interesting that when you look at positive optimism, pessimism, whatever, like I'm not sure if you had it, but like a key essay topic in Irish was vibing and a druggie and vibing, problems. And,
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't finish my Irish exam.
Did you not?
I tapped out in my Irish exam.
You wrote that much?
No, I wrote that little. It was, I don't know, I had to leave early. I was at a point that I've never had like, a mental blank or whatever, but like I just was exhausted and I went home, I went to bed and then I was fine for the next one. But like I left early.
Yeah.
It was a weird feeling.
But you done well. You got all the points you needed.
Yeah, but like it was, like I loved Irish and yet I left early. That was a tough old paper, alright, but I don't know if that was a factor. And, but like I didn't use Irish for my leaving, like, because the points.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. And you Irish would have been probably one of your favourite subjects.
Yeah.
I left almost all my, I think 2 exams I didn't leave after 40 minutes.
40 minutes?
Yeah.
Wow.
I done a lot of pass. I actually left Spanish after 40
Don't
minutes.
try this at home,
Don't
kids.
try this on. I got an A1 in Spanish. I left after, that was pass now. But I left after 40 minutes, yeah.
Jesus. There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, 1 second there, if you don't mind.
Yeah,
You
no.
mentioned the Irish, and it reminded me of an article that I found there, that apparently Freud is meant to said that it's claimed, but they found no proof, that Sigmund Freud said that the Irish were the only race impervious to psychoanalysis.
Impervious.
Yeah, and that, we're just a different breed altogether. Now, apparently it's... Yeah, there's a whole article here in the Irish Times about it, and trying to... It actually came from Martin Scorsese, Boston mob movie, The Departed, because they used that comment in the movie, but apparently there's no source for it. But it is interesting that like there are phrases that are well known, like in the English language, such as "that's a bit Irish." Like you don't think about it, like, but like we use that here, but apparently that is like a phrase to be known as like, oh, it's a bit odd, like I don't know, a bit like that we have a commuter service, but like the trains wouldn't really suit commuters, or that is a bit Irish, like little things like that.
Yeah. Too close to the trees to see the forest, isn't it? Like we don't see the Irish people weird because we are Irish.
Ah, yeah. Yeah.
Maybe. I'm sure no one's perfect. Nobody's perfect, Michael. If a plane sorry, no, next one. What can you catch but not throw?
A cough or a flu.
Yeah, COVID.
If
a plane crashes on the border of Ireland and Northern Ireland, where are the survivors buried?
Where are the survivors buried? But there's no survivors.
Good eye. You can't bury survivors. What does the word Wexford mean?
Loch Garman. It comes from Norse, and it's something to do with a lake, I think.
The Scandinavian word Weisfjord, meaning inlet of flat mudlands.
Ooh, interesting.
Boring one there. How many legs does a crab have?
Ooh, I go with 6.
10. 10 legs? Right. Imagine you're in a room filling up with water. There are no windows or doors. How do you get out?
You're in a room. No windows or doors.
It's filling up with water. There's no windows or doors. How do you get out?
Swim. No, don't have it. Right, I'll go to Shane.
No.
Robbie?
Robbie.
There would be no roof. How else would you get into the roof?
No, there is a roof.
Oh, okay. How'd you get in?
You imagined yourself there. So you stop imagining.
Oh, is that the answer?
That's the answer.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
So I said, imagine you're in a room. You stop imagining. That's how you get out.
Oh, wow. Well done. That was a good one to end it.
Thank you.
What's in the news headlines? Mark, have you ever heard of this pay it forward thing?
No.
This is a thing that I've been a fan of, but I haven't tried it out yet. It's where, as a random act of kindness, you pay for the next person's thing.
Yes.
It's popular with tolls, and it is interesting because you could have a chain then of 20 cars that continue to pass it on to the next person. And then you have some gum bean that will break it. But anyway, but there's someone from Starbucks that just wanted to say publicly, as a former Starbucks barista of nearly 7 years, since the current employees can't say it, pay it forward is extremely annoying and makes everything confusing. It makes it easy to hand out the wrong drinks and just sucks. Instead of paying for the people behind you, who can probably afford their own stuff, since they're in the line intending to pay, tip the people making your drinks who have been working understaffed for months. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Well, do you agree with her?
No, go fuck yourself. Pay me more. Speaking of paying tolls, I had a bit of a problem with tolls in the last while. So, Bree lives in Dublin.
Yes.
Every time I go to Dublin, I have to I go through the toll twice.
Yeah.
I have never paid the toll on time.
Right.
So I currently have a €36 fine on the way to me because I went up twice this week.
Right.
So no, 24. Sorry. So it's €6 for each fine.
Would you not negotiate with them?
No, I should set up an account. Really.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, but apparently negotiate works well with them.
Does it?
Yeah.
Really?
They're like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't see this. I didn't mean to.
Well, it's €6, so I just pay it. Like, but I've had literally, I'd say 20 fines.
So, sorry, you pay all the fines?
Yeah, I pay all the fines.
Marc
I've just accepted the fact that if I go
You're
to Dublin,
a duck in a feckin' barrel.
Yeah.
You're mad in the head. You accept and you just...
I'm putting the money back into the economy. I just accept that going to Dublin cost me €6.
All right, yeah, but €6 is the toll. But like normally they whack on
No,
like,
so
late payment fees.
€3 is the toll.
Oh.
But I never pay it late. I just pay it because they sent me out a letter and I was like, all right, okay, I have to pay it.
Oh, right. Oh, I thought they tripled or quadrupled it. Oh no, that's fair enough.
No. It's not the one. If it was the one thing I never paid, but it's just every time I get a fine and I pay the fine every time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, the account is easy to set up.
It
We
is.
highly recommend it. Last week you caught me out with what was it? I said true to something that chickens can talk or something. Like
Yeah,
that.
chickens can count to 6.
Can count to 6. Yes. Well, apparently the news coming from Amsterdam is that a Dutch scientist has uncovered old recordings of a musk duck mimicking the phrase "you bloody fool" learnt when it was raised by humans in an Australian bird park.
No way. A duck.
A duck, yeah. The scientists said that what was interesting about the vocal expression of the waterfowl, nicknamed Ripper, was not so much the message, but that he could imitate humans at all. Oh.
No way. You bloody fool. Is that the duck?
Yeah, it's definitely based on the human voice, even though the pronunciation is a bit odd, which might be the Australian accent. He published this in a research journal. He said he had first wondered whether the recordings made in the 80s could be a hoax, but they were made by living ornithologist Peter Fulliger, who co-authored the paper. So the Ripper had a bit more in his repertoire. He could also make a noise like the sound of a door closing and its latch clicking. Wow, it's very interesting, isn't it? To find a species quite outside these groups, such as parrots in a duck, that's quite extraordinary. So it's an independent evolutionary occurrence of the ability for vocal learning. That's very special. Gosh, he has lovely English, doesn't he?
Yeah.
So there you are. Quite the tale.
It is. I wonder
You wonder?
how many animals have that capacity.
Yeah.
How far? Like, they reckon monkeys are in the Stone Age now, in terms of their capacity for tools. That they've seen monkeys doing more advanced things over the past, say, 100 years or so. They're learning to use tools more effectively.
Yeah.
So I wonder how far we away from monkeys.
Wow. Yeah.
We'd probably have destroyed the planet by then, but sure.
Do you think?
Probably, yeah. Well, according to Instagram, anyway. Married at First Sight. Have you watched it?
Not yet. Is it like a new season out? I saw Conor Moore posted it.
Yeah, there's a new season, the UK season.
Oh, right.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I hated it at first. I was watching it and I had to turn it off because I was just getting so annoyed at it because it's so annoying. The people on it, some of the people on it, but then that was just like the meeting each other and the wedding and stuff. But then after they go and live with each other and they go on a honeymoon and there's big arguments and stuff. And it's great viewing. It's great to watch.
Right.
So I'd highly recommend it. But
Yeah.
would you ever see yourself going on a show like that? Independent now. You never met Aisling.
Right.
You've been single
No.
all along. You say, right,
not
it's
worth
time.
it.
I'm going to marry a stranger. No.
Does it appeal to you?
Not at all. Not even a little bit.
You know.
No way.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing where people who want to be famous would do it, I think. Because there's people on it, like lads our age, like 26, 25-year-olds,
Yeah.
going on it, and they've never had a girlfriend, but then they're going to get married straight away.
Yeah. No, I don't get it.
No, it goes against the institution, Michael.
We were at a wedding there Friday. It was a very good one. And I have to say, it was Church of Ireland one, and I had never been to one, and it's very similar to a Catholic one. Very similar. Almost identical. They don't light candles. That's the only big difference I saw.
No, they're just like houses.
But yeah, he gave very personal advice about marriage and all, and said you should.
Oh, didn't know the pastor.
Yeah.
To you.
No, to the couple. That
Oh,
were
to the
getting
couple.
What the fuck? And you in the
no,
crowd.
he's
He's married.
man,
And it's a big difference, like, you know, because it was very.
This is
grounded.
So when you're getting married in a Catholic scenario, you have to go under marriage training from a priest.
Is it? Oh,
Or
dear.
you definitely have to have some sort of meetings with him beforehand anyway, and
Yeah.
he talks you how to have a good marriage.
Yeah.
The priest.
Yeah. On priests, Father McCartney has a Tyrone flag. Is he from Tyrone?
He's from Tyrone, yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
Father McCartney.
Fun fact.
Fun fact.
Did you watch the match? Were you playing your
I
own match?
didn't know. See, our match finished at 5.
Yeah.
So I missed the first. Yeah, I did. I only saw like 5 minutes of it, I'd say.
Frustrating is the only.
Was it?
Yeah. Mayo just. I was up for Mayo. It was very
Yeah,
frustrating.
so was I. But sure. They still
then
have
the-
one lad left off the curse.
Yeah. And apparently he looks in great form altogether. 92, not bothering him. Do you know the amount of curses that are...
There's more.
Listen to 2FM. Loads of sporting curses. Apparently there was one against the Clare team and the woman that made it was dead before hurling, the GAA was founded, and yet it was Biddy Early's curse. And then when Ger Canning did the commentary in 95 when they won it, and he says, Biddy Early, eat your heart out. So... And there were loads of then Chicago Cubs, and there was something about Babe Ruth and a piano and
There's a Drake curse. You know Drake?
yeah.
Apparently, if you get a photo with Drake,
Yeah.
you're going to lose your next sporting event. It's happened to loads of people.
Oh no way.
I look it up because I think McGregor was one of them, and there was some sort. I think it might have been a basketball team.
Yeah.
One second.
Did you hear about Aaron Ramsey?
No.
His curse, yeah. He scored something like 70 goals, and every time after 23 of his goals, someone famous has died within a day or 2 or 3 days of the goal.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So what is the Drake curse? It's simple. If Drake wears a jersey, poses for a photo with an athlete, or in any way appears to be supporting any particular team or person, the team or person will go on to lose, often against the odds. After Drake posed for a photo with Lavin Karzawa from the French football giants Paris Saint-Germain, they lost their next match 5-1. It was their worst defeat in nearly 2 decades. The UFC fighter Conor McGregor lost his fight to Khabib after he took a photo with Drake. The Man City striker Sergio Aguero met Drake and they missed a penalty in the Champions League game. The list goes on and on. The latest victim was Anthony Joshua, the now former heavyweight champion boxer. Going into his last fight, Joshua was the overwhelming favourite. His opponent, Andy Ruiz Jr., was an 11-1 underdog, and Joshua was an undefeated superstar. So confident Joshua before the fight that he tweeted a photo of himself with Drake along with the caption, "About to break the curse." He lost a one-sided fight in the 7th round after getting knocked down 4 times.
Genie, man.
Apparently all Roma, Roma, the soccer team, they tweeted, all Roma players banned from taking photos with Drake until the end of next season.
Genie, Mac.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the something like a curse that was used in the penalties? You follow the soccer, Shane, so did you? It's something about the penalties, and someone has admitted to. No, it's not really coming up there. But apparently, one of the Italian players was mouthing a curse on one of the young lads that was taking the next penalty. Then he missed it, and he admitted afterwards, yes, that's what I was doing.
Wow.
But it's a curse that apparently they used to use it in Argentinian football circles. They go to the opposition's training and just I don't know.
Should we put a curse on someone?
I don't know. Other podcasts.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think I'd bother.
No.
There's just a lot of energy in it, isn't
A
there?
lot of energy. Speaking of curses, I have
Yeah.
a few ghost stories.
Oh,
So these are creepy but true news stories. So the first one is the axe murder house. So the Vasilla axe murder house in Vasilla, Iowa is a well-known tourist attraction for ghost hunters and horror lovers alike. The site of a gruesome unsolved 1912 murder in which 6 children and 2 adults had their skulls completely crushed by an axe of an unknown perpetrator was purchased in 1994, restored to its 1912 condition, and converted into a tourist destination. It costs $428 a night to stay at the old haunted house, where visitors always report strange paranormal experiences, such as visions of a man with an axe roaming the halls or the faint screams of children. But in November of 2014, the haunting took a darker turn. Robert Stephen Larson Jr., 38, that is Larson, it's spelled like that, I don't say Larson, it's Larson. Back to the story. Of Rhinelander, Wisconsin, was on a regular recreational paranormal visit with friends when true horror struck. His companions found him stabbed in the chest, an apparently self-inflicted wound, called 911, and Larson was brought to a nearby hospital before being helicoptered to Creighton University Medical Center in Omaha. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office said that Larson suffered a self-inflicted injury at about 12:45 a.m., which is around the same time the 1912 axe murders in the house began. Larson recovered from his injuries but has never spoken publicly about what occurred that day. For Martha Lynn, the owner of the home, the incident was very upsetting. It's publicity, but it's not exactly the kind of publicity you desire to have. I don't want people thinking that when they come to the Vasilla axe murder house, something's going to happen that's going to make them do something like that. The house remains open for tourist visits and overnight stays today.
Oh my gosh, would you say there?
Not a fucking chance.
Yeah.
No way. So here we have, the next one is the haunted doll. So when you think of haunted dolls, it's likely the creepy old Victorian-looking porcelain kind that springs to mind. None of which you probably have laying around. Still, don't get too comfortable around any kids' toys too soon. Though a Disney's Frozen Elsa doll that was gifted for Christmas 2013 in the Houston area made headlines earlier this year when it seemingly became haunted. The doll recited phrases from the movie Frozen and sang Let It Go when a button on its necklace was pressed. For 2 years it did that in English, Mother Emily Madonia said. In 2015 it started doing it in alternating between Spanish and English. There wasn't a button to change these, it was just random. The family has owned the doll for more than 6 years and it never changed its batteries. The mother says the doll would randomly begin to speak and sing even when its switch was turned off. The family decided to throw the creepy doll out in December of 2019. Weeks later they found it inside a bench in their living room. The kids insisted they didn't put it there, and I believed them because they wouldn't have dug it through the garbage outside, Madonia told Houston News. At that point, Elsa ceased to sing the English rendition of Let It Go altogether, speaking only Spanish when pressed. The family then double-bagged the bizarre doll and placed it in the bottom of their garbage, which was taken out on garbage day. They went on a trip shortly after, but when they returned, Elsa had come back too.
Oh, stop it.
And was waiting in the backyard of their home. This time the family mailed Elsa to a family friend in Minnesota who taped the haunted doll to the front bumper of his truck. It hasn't seemed to have made its way back to Houston yet, as per Madonia's latest February Facebook update on the creepy doll.
That's so odd. Like, why did it? So we can't get rid of the dog twice. We'll send it to your man, our good mate there, and he'll put it on the truck. Mm-hmm. That's mad. Right.
That's fucking creepy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I knew someone who had a porcelain doll and kept it in the room. I couldn't stay in it, so I put it in the fridge one night. Left it there. But I didn't see it again after. In August 2016, in North London, a 26-year-old Kennedy Ife began acting strange and... Sorry, this one is called Dead Animals in the Walls. No, yeah, this one's called Dead Animals in the Walls. When the Beatrice family decided to insulate their home in Auburn, Pennsylvania in 2015, they discovered that it had already been, but with scores of dead animal carcasses. The dead animals were wrapped in newspapers from the 1930s and 40s and were among half-used spices and other items. After removing the items, they sent hundreds of artefacts and carcasses to an expert in Kutztown. The expert attributed the rotting animals in their walls to pow pow or Dutch magic, a ritual originating from the culture of Pennsylvania Dutch to treat ailments and gain physical and spiritual protection. The Pennsylvania Dutch were a group of German-speaking settlers to Pennsylvania in the 1600s and 1700s and are often Lutheran, Mennonite or of Amish faiths. The Washington Post notes on the magic, there are many spells deal with the care of livestock. Many of the spells deal with the care of livestock, finding water, or the treatment of minor ailments, reflecting the conditions of concerns of early American settlers. But Pow Pow also has within it a tradition of darker spells, even of such things as conjuring demons. One notable in the ritual is the tradition of this hex to create a loyalty in a dog. To attach a dog to a person, provided nothing else was used before the effect of it, try to draw some of your blood and let the dog eat it along with his food, and he will stay with you. The mould found on rotting carcasses in the Beatrice home was caused illness among the family members, and they say that the odour hasn't gone away.
Gee.
So do you plan to insulate your new house with carcasses?
No, I think I'll stick with insulation bark. But when we were in Poland, there was these walls, outdoor walls, that they actually did use the bones of cats or pets, because the cartilage was easy to bind the cement together or something like that.
Surely there's easier ways of doing it than getting dead pets.
Oh yeah, but this is an old form. This is something they did hundreds of years ago.
Sentimental, like to get your old pets and put it in the walls.
Oh no, I think it was like practical more than sentimental. Like it was more like they didn't have other ways to cost saving measure. I think that was it. But yeah. Elvis Presley's hair, Mark, would you buy a jar of it?
A jar of it?
Yeah.
He didn't have that much, did he?
Oh, well, this is a jar of Elvis Presley's hair, and it was auctioned for $72,500.
Jesus Christ. Is
Some
it head hair?
A baseball-sized clump of his of hair.
They look short and curly.
Yeah. It was kept in a plastic bag by his personal barber, who cut his hair for 2 decades.
Bullshit. No fucking way. That's somebody else's hair.
Right, okay. Then there's this TikTok going around with, I think there's 72,000 likes on it, and it's a funeral director revealing the secrets of working with corpses and the best makeup to use with them. What do you make of that?
A TikTok of, does he show the corpses' faces?
No, I think it's more shows how to mix the makeup and that sort of thing. It's just mad. The TikTok is a home for everything now, isn't it? Like a funeral director can find a home on TikTok and build a following.
And chiropractors.
Really?
People like that, yeah. People love watching chiropractic videos.
Yeah?
Yeah. The neck's getting cracked and popped
There's one
and
that
stuff.
comes up on, a doctor comes up on my sometimes, and I just have to swipe straight off it. It's liposuction. And he actually shows it, like the fat being extracted.
Oh my gosh.
It's fucking disgusting.
Gee.
I don't know how that's allowed on.
Yeah.
Open wounds and fucking fat come out.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
Pimple poppers.
Yeah, Ashton loves that.
Oh, no.
Does Breed like it?
Breed? Yeah. Do you like pimple popping?
Not on anyone else.
No.
No.
She doesn't.
There you are. Oh. And there's a viral TikTok going around of a man telling women in bikinis at Colorado Lake to cover up, but he lost his job. So he confronted women. He told them that it was pornography. Take young eyes into consideration. And he stood up to them. But anyway, then he lost his job as there was a Mighty Hand Construction put up on the Facebook that they had fired him because they began an investigation. And so, there you are. He's refuting the allegations and the accusations. And he says, even though I don't need to clear my name, God will vindicate me. Wow, right, okay. So there you are now.
Yeah.
So I'll go.
He was going around. I'm going to do that.
Are you?
Yeah.
Clone.
Excuse me, ladies. What's going on here? Cover it up.
That'll work. There was this Nobel Prizes, right? And they gave it out for researchers who experimented, and the prizes are a bit mad. So the biology prize went to Swedish researcher Susanne Schatz, who analysed the variations in cat vocalizations while communicating with humans.
Right.
And other prizes, the ecology prize went to a team of researchers who used genetic analysis to compare the different species of bacteria found on discarded chewing gum recovered from paved surfaces in various countries. And the medicine prize was awarded to a trio for their study demonstrating that sexual orgasms are as effective as decongestant medicines at improving nasal breathing.
Really?
So now.
We are running out of stuff to look at. There's grave in the bottom of the barrel now. Michael, while you have your phone there, I want you to look up the biggest criminal lawsuit in history.
Okay. This is largest health case. 1.195 billion. Fraud. Pfizer. Ah, stop it. Fraudulent marketing. Who are you?
I know things.
So, American pharma giant Pfizer have agreed to pay 2.3 billion, the largest healthcare fraud settlement in the history of the DOJ, to resolve criminal and civil liability arising from the illegal promotion of certain pharma products. They agreed to plead guilty for felony violation with the intent to defraud or mislead. Bextra, an anti-inflammatory drug, was pulled from the market in 2005. Oh, right, okay. What do you make of this, Mark?
I don't know. It's a bit conspicuous. And Johnson & Johnson were involved in that as well. Same one, yeah.
Right.
And sure, vaccines don't work. 50% of the people in ICU at the minute are vaccinated.
Right. But is that because we just need an old booster?
I don't know that, but I said this to Brendan yesterday, and he actually said that. So if you look at 90% of the population are vaccinated.
Yeah.
So and 50%, so that's 10% aren't vaccinated, and they're making up 50% of the people that are in ICU for it. So it actually shows that it is effective.
Again, it's gas. Like sometimes you hear people, oh no, I didn't get the vaccine because they wouldn't give the money to that pharma crowd. So they didn't want to, by the principle of, whatever about the health or whatever, it's more to give them the money to those big pharma companies.
Big pharma, big furniture. Don't go to IKEA, go to Helping Furniture.
No.
Yeah.
That's gas. And now,
look, lads, we have a serious problem in this country. The amount of people whinging over getting 600 points and not getting a college place. Yeah, grand, look, tough shit, the world moves on. You'll be fine. You might have to wait a year. It'll be fine. There's nobody going to do apprenticeships. Like, Jesus Christ, in 10 years' time, they're not going to be a lad to lay a block or pour cement or screw a light bulb in or anything like that. There's going to be no tradespeople. There's going to be no one to build a house in this country. We'll be going around in fucking... Yeah, Jesus, I'll tell you something. We'll all be highly educated, but we won't have a fucking hand to do a thing. And that's the truth. Won't be a hand to do a thing.
This coming from the man with a master's degree.
I'm going to go and get another one.
Yeah, I'm going to get another one.
Right.
What do you think, Michael?
I'm taking with him now. I love when he gives an old curveball. You just don't expect that one now. We block layers at the site at the moment, thanks be to God. And there's one block layer, and it's the main man, and it's rumoured that he's getting €3,000 a week.
By fuck. Yeah. We've said it before on the podcast, sure. Like there's a bad rap with, going doing fucking an apprenticeship or something, or like leaving school early. You don't even have to leave school early to do it, but there's money in it. Like it's a good trade and it's useful. Like you contribute to society with it.
Yeah. The career options section with paper Tuesdays.
I had career guidance. I had Seamus O'Connor from my career guidance.
Shout out Seamus.
Yeah. He was the best. I loved him. He knew I didn't care.
You and him just had a great vibe.
We bounced off each other. Yeah. I always came in with my tie up properly and I was spick and span. He loved it.
That's gas.
I think he asked me what I want to do and I said, you tell me. That's why I'm here.
But is he, like, the whinging 600 points, like, it is tough, great for inflation. Like, I mean, I don't know. Man.
A lot of people are getting 600, aren't they? It's like the average has gone up, surely.
Yeah, big time. Like Commerce is now like 560 in UCD, and that used to be 500 or 495.
480, I think, when I was doing it.
Yeah, could have easily been. Yeah, so like that is, and you understand why it'd be tough or whatever. But like, yeah.
So why would you want to go to college anymore with COVID and nightclubs aren't open?
They'll be back open now, 22nd of October, the magic date, Mark. Are you looking forward to it?
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have no interest in going to a nightclub anymore.
I can't wait. Brilliant.
I just get to look at more Snapchat stories on a Sunday morning and spend an extra half an hour looking at people drinking shots.
Yeah. All to look forward to.
Yeah, and boomerangs.
Mark, thank you.
Thank you, Michael. We'll take a leaf
yes,
out of Roy
absolutely.
Keane's book, will we?
You please.
Give us a page, Michael.
Tree, or why do I call it
You're
trees? Are there any trees?
There's no, there's a Q&A at the end, but it's like goes to 305.
All right. 17.
17. Okay. I was happy. I relished the hard work of training. The travelling up and down from Cork to Dublin was a pain, but I had a few pounds in my pocket earned by playing football. I was a professional player, even if I was at the bottom of what looked like a very steep hill. Again, it was worth pointing out unemployment and its attendant indignity was still very much a feature of Irish working class life. Among my own in Mayfield, indeed in our family, immediate and extended, a decent job was highly prized. I was now in Ramblers' first team. I was able to tuck around £50 a week in my back pocket. The National League second division was a tough school for a 17-year-old. Most of the players were battle-hardened semi-pros, who in terms of ability and nous were much better than anything I'd expected. Respect was hard-earned from opponents and your own teammates. Any exhibitionist flourishes on the ball were promptly punished. Any fannying around and they put you in the stand. The opposition took no prisoners either. 6 months into my FOSS course in the spring of 1990, I felt, a very improved player. My aim for the start had been to become the best footballer on the training scheme. Training every day with 23 of the best young footballers in the country, one thing was obvious: ability was not enough. To succeed, you need the strength of body and strength of mind. Our physical training took care of itself if you put in the work, which I did. The mind was a different, more challenging proposition. On cold winter mornings, on a muddy surface with a cutting east wind lashing across the amenity centre, not everyone was up for it. There is no atmosphere on the training ground unless you create it yourself. You don't win any prizes on Monday morning except the most important one: self-satisfaction. There's no glory here. Yet I knew that if I could push myself through the mental barriers that others balked at, it would be an important victory. When the day's work was done, I could feel the warm glow of pure satisfaction that lies on the other side of those mental barriers you push through. Thank you, Roy.
He always brings us somewhere, doesn't he?
He does.
That is a good page.
Important lesson.
Yeah, graft. Excellent.
Royston. Is his name Royston?
I don't know.
What a terrible name.
That's what I want for a Google.
What's your confirmation name?
Enda.
Enda Kenny.
Roy Morris Keane.
Roy Morris.
No, I think he's just Roy Morris.
Just Roy.
Yeah, there you are. All the big questions answered here. What's your confirmation name?
Anthony.
Come on, Anto.
Marc, Patrick, Anthony Halpin.
Glorious.
Thank you, Paper Tuesdays.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.